Alright guys, here we are to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1, Episode 9. So we're getting in on the end here.
Saga continues.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
What'd you think about this episode?
I like this episode. This episode's fine. We get to see Deadite. Her name is Fisher.
Yes.
Now that she's dead, I finally know her name, the cop lady.
Mm-hmm.
Who's dead. We begin the episode with the predicted Ash and the back and forth. But it's like very quick, and I didn't love it the way that it played out.
I don't like how it ended because I think there's a funny line right after the but I'm like, none of that was a definite proof that you killed the right one.
No, right?
And you wouldn't even know 100% for a while if you did kill the right one potentially.
Yeah, right.
I did like the but you're not racist against the Chinese.
Exactly, but not against. Well, you are racist, but not against Asians or whatever you say. Yeah. No, I know that's pretty good.
Well, he said something about like massages, like their little hands are perfect for massage or something.
Yeah. So it's like classic funny stuff, and at a certain like my brain's going like, does it clone his memories? How could it do that? It wasn't in contact with him. How does he know some of these things? Was the fake Ash like guessing some of these things? What's going on?
No, it's too close to guess.
I know it's weird.
And if it was an actual clone of him, it would know that he's not racist against the Asians.
So it doesn't really add up, Stefan. I'm seeing some holes in this plot.
It's got to be a clone of Ash, but it's also evil.
Yeah.
So it's a little like perverted away from his natural disposition.
Right.
Or doesn't have the understanding of why certain things are this or that.
See, it's the classic nature versus nurture debate.
More or less.
They're both genetically Ash. However, one was a normal human being that just wants to go to Jacksonville, and the other one is an unholy monster from hell.
Yes.
And they presumably make the right choice and shoot the right Ash.
They do, but it's one of those where I'm like, oh, a little fishy there.
They could have drawn it out a little more, like done a little more with it. I'm tempted to say like they knew how cliche the whole thing was, and they wanted to just subvert it and do something dumb and just end it or whatever.
Oh yeah,
because you know.
I would always just shoot one of him in the arm and see how he reacts.
Okay, right. Oh, I'm a demon though. Yeah, I know.
You never know.
There should be some better ways to do that. I always think about that in real life whenever anything like that happens. Because I think by now everyone's heard the meme and they know that you're supposed to suggest that you shoot both. And like that's always like the kicker to be like, oh, only the real one would sacrifice the blah 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 or whatever. But here it's the opposite. Or something.
I actually would have. That's how I would have taken the Ash thing where I'm like, no, he's way too selfish to kill himself.
Yeah, they throw that in there as like a thing, so that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's never really conclusive, and I always wonder how we're going with that stuff.
The girl in this one, and I'm looking it up right now, so excuse me.
She's from the babysitter.
That's what I thought. I literally just Googled the babysitter because I was like, I think that's who that is.
I kept looking at her face. I think she's incredibly hot, like impossibly hot.
I think she looks weird.
I know, no, and like different people respond differently to different faces, so I knew
like still an attractive person, but she has a very weird look. Like I think something's interesting about her.
She's very distinct, and every now and then I see an actress where I'm like, you are impossibly hot. Trish from Jessica Jones, I feel the same way about. I don't know why. It makes no sense because they don't look like like each other.
I was gonna say she looks like an average person.
I know, it's crazy. So that was happening here. And she breaks her freaking leg. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, good break.
Good break. Horrible.
Compound fracture.
Disturbing break. And she's way too collected about it. You would be like, really messed up.
Oh, she'd be in shock for quite some time.
I know. She'd be all in shock and fucked up.
Well, that would stop you from doing the freak out potentially.
Well,
some people, though, just by seeing the bone would freak out.
Yeah, I mean like symptoms of shock. She would be like much more difficult to get around and do stuff. But they like splint up her leg. She comes back to the cabin. Everything's good. But we should talk about the actual fight and all that stuff. Sure. How'd you feel about the look of Deadite Fisher?
There's something.
She looks like a garbage pail kid to me. I was like, this is not okay.
There's too much prosthetics on her face.
It looked really weird.
And I'm not sure what that is about. Like, because it's more than most. Well, she actually kind of looks like, what was the gun nut's name? Like Neil or Ned or
Lenny.
Len? Whatever. But she kind of looked like him, where I'm like, yeah, it's like too much prosthetics.
I liked his a lot better than hers. Hers looked goofy to me.
Hers looked like a reject from like Buffy, where like it's like built up forehead, like furrowed brow, anger.
Yeah, it was just kind of gross looking or whatever. I really liked that she does the puppetry routine with them or whatever. The minute she stuck her hand into one of their back of their skulls, I kind of like either remembered it or like thought of I could see it coming. But I'm like, oh, that's twisted. That's great. Oh no.
The guy puppet though, I'm like, he didn't sell it hard enough. He had like a weird look on his face the whole time.
Okay, sure. No, I know. And when they're like decapitated later, he still has the stupid light on his head, and it's like head's rolling with the light like rolling around. I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
No, it was decent, and it wasn't a bad sculpt on the head.
Oh yeah, no, the heads actually looked pretty good. I was like, those are just the real heads, Stefan. What are you talking about? Ruby comes to save him though. Is like the main thing.
I didn't like how Ruby swooped in.
No,
like,
she has powers.
It's like, what the hell is that?
What the hell
is this
that?
Xena? Like,
it is Xena. We have to do that with Lucy Lawless whenever she's in anything.
Presumably.
Yeah.
That's how she was in Grease.
Nailed it. She saves the though. She has a magic dagger. She's doing her whole thing. I keep forgetting because like rewatching it even feels obvious to me that she's like a bad guy. I don't know if that was ever meant to be like a secret or something like that.
I don't know. They never say she's a good guy.
Say true.
But yeah, especially how it unfolds and it escalates very quickly.
She straight up says that she's a bad guy, right?
Yes, but just how she's about like the give me the book it's the moment if you didn't know anything until that part you'd be like well, that's what a bad guy says.
That's what a bad guy would do.
Yeah.
But they play it here as if you're not, and like I was feeling that like distance of like, oh, I'm supposed to pretend that like, oh, she might not be obviously just trying to do something on her own. Like, okay, cool.
Ash's whole like, well, should I say some words? It's been a while.
It's like saying goodbye to a good friend or something. Whatever he says. Oh, the book talking to him, like taunting him. Without me, you're just a stock boy and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay. The book looked goofy though. It's like lips like moving and everything was kind of weird. But the idea of the book talking, of getting a little blood on it and then getting like, hello, I'm a book, was like good times. Yes.
And then when he cutting the face off the book was a weird stretch, and then like it flopping around and going after Pablo.
Yeah, and it just like comes off as like a single slice of bologna. Yeah. I wrote down the mask in all capital letters after Pablo because he looks in the Jim Carrey The Mask. I believe in my memory there's a brief moment where like the mask is like formed to his face but is still wood for like a second before he like turns into the mask, and like this like reminded me of that because the Necronomicon's like oaky finish on his face with his stupid eyes looking through it. And I remembered that part happening, but like still once it happened, I'm like, whoa!
I forget what happens again too.
I was actually going to say I thought that I remembered it happening and then having like stuff around it or whatever. But the next episode is the last episode of season 1, right?
Yeah.
So it can't be like a lot of stuff, right?
No.
One episode's worth, perhaps. I forget what that does for him. Does it give him Brujo powers? Does it unlock his?
No, it's like poisoning him and killing him, and the words start to like leach out of his skin, and something rather like he becomes the book.
Oh, it tries to turn him into back into the book.
Something like that.
Oh, that's awful. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good times. Because his amulet goes nuts, and he's like, oh no, whatever. Like the thing.
Yeah, that amulet's not helped him
at
all.
Pops off the thing. No, I know. It's like only hurt.
If anything, it's hurt. Yeah.
It's only hurt.
Oh no!
It might have been a big troll by his uncle the whole time.
I never liked him.
He never had the light of the heavy. Oh man.
So yeah, Ruby is now in possession of the book, and that's never good.
We get the line like, "I wrote it." Whatever.
Yeah.
Bam. Which we talked about before, right? She is an ancient entity of some sort.
Well, she's just a witch.
She's imbued with powers.
That's where I think things started to fall apart for me when I was like, okay, so she is this witch. She wrote the book, but like the book is her power, but she clearly displays powers without the book, at least some powers. She has immortality for now, and then like eventually loses it. I forget how. But you remember she had it.
No, I like your rundown in like your monotone, like, and then we do this, but then it's that, but not this because of that. Like,
and then she like gives birth to like the evil like triplets or whatever.
Are they goo babies? Because I remember
they are, and then they quickly grow.
Wet black children.
Yes.
Attacking Ash. And him being like,
yeah, they're like made of tar or something at first, and then they're just like evil looking.
Gross evil babies. Does that happen next episode, or is that in like a future season?
No, I think that's the opening of the next season or something.
Okay.
We'll see. Anything else happen in this episode? Well, 2 of the 3 campers are dead. We've got one injured camper who I think dies.
In my head I'm like, does she get possessed or like so like she's like screaming. There's a bunch of screaming at one
Well,
point.
because shit's just
Just
going down,
awesome
and she's
shit.
just a normal person. So like, what are you
So
gonna do?
no, I know, and like I had like a premonition, or maybe like again, it could be a real memory or fake memory of like things just keep getting worse and worse, and I think she gets covered in blood, and there's just constant screaming, and like things are being dragged around, and like all this, everything's like going to hell, and I think I remember laughing at like the constant like returning to the screaming angle of the whole thing. That's the show's done that a few times when one
Yeah.
character goes off and their characters and all that stuff. So that's kind of where we end off here. Is
Yeah.
like Kelly's the only one who's not like literally has like a book face or like Ruby in a face because Ruby like attacks Ash with like
Yeah.
a force push like maneuver, and the hiker's leg is broken, right? Ruby's got the book, things are swirling around, everyone's like wah, going like to hell,
Yeah.
and it's time to finally cap things off. I look forward to it.
All right, guys. So that's everything that happened in this episode. Next week it will be the last episode of season 1.
I don't remember exactly what happened, so I'm really excited.
I do.
You do remember? Are you excited?
No.
Okay, don't ruin it for me. I want to live in this moment for as long as
Okay.
possible.
All right, guys. So let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.